And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Clevr, and today I've got a little bit of a different kind of a video again. Oh, I didn't want to have to do this. I really didn't want to have to make this video, but it feels like I do have to make this video. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's happening with YouTube, the hypocrisy going on with Google, and everything that revolves around that, because at this point, it's getting to be a little bit ridiculous with what's going on with Adpocalypse and all that good stuff. So, one second, let me just do a quick Google search from our good friends at Google. Alright, I'm right back. I just wanted to check out some of the advertisers that were on YouTube, and the ones that left, and the ones that are continuing to use YouTube as an advertising platform. So I just wanted to get some specific names and look into them and, you know, really get a feel about all that kind of good stuff. So that brings me to my main point. All of this Adpocalypse, all of this regular YouTubers being blacklisted, having their videos demonetized, is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why. Number one, YouTube is a platform that generates clicks. Instead of perhaps views on a cable network or on Hulu or on Netflix or whatever, we generate ad revenue via clicks. Via how many times we can get someone to click on our video so that they can see the ad that plays before or in the middle of, or at the end of our videos. I say I did work as an editor on a channel that generated YouTube revenue, that was monetized, that made money by producing content. The reason why I felt the need to make this video is simple. I have a huge, huge problem with how Google especially is handling all of this. The fact that Google feels the need to say you can't swear in videos now, if that is the case, because no one really knows. Google hasn't come out and said what you can and can't do in a video for it to be demonetized. In fact, some completely tame, harmless videos are being demonetized for seemingly no reason at all, other than perhaps a video before it in the channel was possibly offensive. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. It would be one thing if Google came out and said, listen, this is how YouTube's going to roll now. This is what we're going to do. But they haven't done that. I read the YouTube community guidelines, and nearly every video that I've seen demonetized, and that's over 99% of the videos I've looked at, follow the community guidelines to a T, to an absolute T. So, if you're not going to change your community guidelines, and you're not going to change your rules on making videos, then how can you demonetize videos for not being suitable to all advertisers for YouTubers across the board? How is it possible? You need to have something in there telling what they can and can't do. If you don't have that, there is an issue. Google has a major issue with this. YouTube has a major issue with this. Here's my main problem with the whole advertiser pulling out thing, with the whole advertisers don't like to be associated with this kind of, I don't know, hate speech, controversy, whatever you have it, offensive language, all that kind of stuff. I was just cruising through some of the advertisers, and I happened to have been watching Breaking Bad on television. I watched it when it came out on television. Breaking Bad, for those of you who do not know, is a show about a high school teacher who is very good at chemistry, who decides to take one of his former students and start cooking meth. Cooking meth now. methamphetamine. Okay? He's cooking methamphetamine. He then takes that meth, he distributes it to multiple foreign and domestic distributors to be used on the streets, dealing a hardcore drug like methamphetamines. He then proceeds to not only murder other drug dealers, other distributors, other cooks, he murders innocent people. He murders a kid and dissolves that kid in acid. He dissolves a child in acid. There was not one single advertiser that had any issue putting their product in a commercial on television to promote their product behind this show. Oh, by the way, there's vulgar language in Breaking Bad as well. So, I have a huge issue with the hypocrisy going on here. If you want to say you don't want to be associated with stuff that people find offensive, that's fine. But you better walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. Because I know specific brands that are advertisers on YouTube advertise behind Breaking Bad. And it's not just Breaking Bad. There's hundreds of television shows, thousands throughout the years, that have been just as offensive, more offensive. HBO has a ton of shows that a lot of people would consider drastically offensive and would not want to be associated with, depending on their personal views. And yet, these advertisers have no issue with making a commercial that is put on that. Oh, by the way, Breaking Bad has plenty of racism and racist rhetoric in it. Again, I'm not hating on Breaking Bad. I love the show Breaking Bad, just as a prelude to this. But if we're talking about just simply the words with no context behind any of it, then how can you do this on YouTube? How can you tell a content creator who might be saying something to get a laugh, might be saying something to bring attention to a controversy, might be saying something to show how ridiculous something is, but that's not okay because they're not a multi-million-dollar show. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because someone says the F word, they may not get money for a particular video. Even though everyone's going to click on their videos knowing the content that they're getting. When I go watch Uberhex or Nova, I know what I'm expecting to see on his channel. I understand what's going to be on the channel. I've understood it since I was 13 years old. There's certain channels you click on that you're not expecting swearing. You're not expecting anything offensive. You're not expecting anything anything that's not vanilla. However, we know what we're getting with gamers. We know what we're getting with gameplay specialists. We know what we're getting with certain YouTubers going on rants, doing all this other good stuff, doing stuff that entertains people, that generates clicks, and it generates activity on your website. It generates traffic on YouTube. And yet, no one talks about it. No one talks about it. Let's say you demonetize. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say all of PewDiePie's videos get demonetized, okay? The people that go and watch PewDiePie are going to go watch a PewDiePie video. Fair enough? Let's say they happen to see in the nice sidebar, they happen to see a video that they like. They click on that one that is advertiser friendly, and that generates revenue for YouTube. Awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. YouTube makes that money. PewDiePie gets none of it. Even though he drew in the initial traffic, he will get no compensation because he said a swear word in the video. And again, if you want to make YouTube politically correct and you want to do all this stuff that I would think we're beyond it. It's 2017, and we live in a world where you can't say or do anything anymore. We're going backwards. Like, you're allowed to have a show on air about making drugs and killing people, and you can say whatever you want in that because it's art, and you can't go on here and say... you can't have a genuine reaction to a video or a video game that you're playing or whatever, and that's not considered art in their opinion. It just baffles my mind why I am sitting here having this conversation, why I'm sitting here and I know people in the YouTube game that are going to be quitting. I know a channel who has stopped producing videos because of Adpocalypse. I mean, other than the creatures, I have friends who I once worked with who made a channel, and because of a variety of factors, they can no longer produce content on YouTube. They aren't making enough money. Their videos are getting demonetized, even though they went family friendly. Even though they cut out all the swearing, everything, their videos automatically get demonetized. There's a huge, huge, huge problem with this. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube. YouTube is thinking right now in their heads, with the music game, with Vivo, all that good stuff, they're going to always generate enough ad revenue that they're going to be a viable business. What they're not considering is the fact that if you alienate millions, and I mean millions of people, because YouTubers, either gamers, vloggers, begin to leave, there's a huge, huge impact that is going to hit them hard. It's not a good situation. We shouldn't be in this situation. It doesn't even make sense. If you were even a reasonable human being, you can see the difference between hate speech and someone going out on a video game and swearing a couple times, making a joke. Comedians and black humor have been around forever. Since I was a child, there's been black humor. Since before I was born, there's been black humor. And yet, here we are in 2017. 2017, we are talking about, are we crossing the line by making these jokes? Has anyone ever seen Anthony Jeselnik? He's a very offensive comedian to a lot of people. He makes his living off making shocking jokes, and he makes his living off being offensive. That's what he does to get a laugh. Not one of these advertisers would turn down an opportunity to be on Comedy Central, to have a primetime commercial right behind, in the middle of, during, after Anthony Jeselnik's Comedy Central premiere. There would not have been one. They would have had no issue with it at all. And that's a huge issue I have with the whole thing. Not one of these advertisers would turn down a spot on HBO behind any show. Behind any of them. They would not turn down a spot behind any show on cable. They would not do it. And yet here we are on YouTube because we have some gamers saying the F word, because people aren't expecting gamers to swear. Yeah, okay. Right. I go on Xbox Live, and I have 12-year-olds cursing me out. Cursing me out. They're 12. At tops. 12. I guess they learned that from just watching YouTube videos. I guarantee it has nothing to do with their family lives or the fact that pretty much everyone swears nowadays. I can't think of anyone who doesn't off the top of my head. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And the reason I might seem a little bit agitated, I might seem a little bit just kind of down about this, I am. I have friends who did this for a living that are now, they can't do it anymore. They had to quit and go get regular jobs. And it's not like a sad thing like, oh no, they have to work for a living. They had a chance to do what they loved doing. They were still popular. And now they can't do it anymore because early on their content included a lot of swearing. So I guess when YouTube's voice analyzing details all flew in, I guess their channel got blacklisted. And now they just, every single video they upload is demonetized. For a couple examples, let's take a look at Uber Hexer Nova's video. He actually talked a little bit about this in depth on what it's like being one of the top YouTubers and what it's like having all of your videos seemingly just struck down, whatever you want, for no reason.
This has more so become a reoccurring thing as of late, and it's happened to me for the past couple days to the point now where I at least want to notify you guys that this is what I'm dealing with now. Almost every single video that I've uploaded over the past 3-4 days have been automatically claimed in some way or deemed advertiser unfriendly the instant it's uploaded. Not even while it's live, although one video did get it, I guess, claimed or whatever you would want to call that after the video was live. But a lot of these videos are just getting hit right out of the gate. Now, keep in mind, the type of content that I do here on this channel it's like generic gameplay. This is what I'm looking at now that I have, and from what I counted here, I'll scroll through. These are all the videos here thus far. This is just page 1, by the way, but I've counted manually over 204 videos that have been deemed not suitable for all advertisers. Now, granted, some of these videos maybe are a little bit inappropriate, and I'll be the first to admit to some of this content not necessarily being open to all ages. Maybe House Party, obviously, that game is a little bit more on the mature side. I would even argue some of these other ones, these one-offs that I've had, are still just base gameplay. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand, and it's the most frustrating gut punch of emotions that I'm sitting here with right now, because it's like, this is what I do. Like, I'm a YouTuber. I don't want to be anything else. I know, like, for some people, mostly, like, what people would say would be like, well, switch platforms, go somewhere else, go do something else if you're not able to do what you want to do here. And to a certain extent, yes, I could do that, but that's not what I want to do, Like, this is what I've been doing for, as I said, almost 10 years. This is what I want to do still, continually. Granted, maybe I don't need to do this. Maybe I could get the fuck up and just walk away altogether. I've never been one to censor myself. But if just the base gameplay of something like The Last of Us is going to get hit with something like this, what do you do in this case? Like, what exactly can you do here?
I want to show you a video, and this is completely true. This video was demonetized. It was manually reviewed by someone. That means a person had to sit through and watch it, or they didn't, because Google could be just lying straight to our face, which wouldn't be the first time. And they manually reviewed it and said it was still not suitable for all advertisers. Let's just take a look. It's Until Dawn.
It's just the Deerses.
That thing almost killed us.
Really? Did it?
I mean, what can you say about that?
Did it almost kill us?
He swore a couple times in the video.
Trampled us over, but I don't think it would have took us both
The
out
game
at the same
swears.
time. I think she probably would have been dead first. Camera angle's fucking with me right now.
Guys,
Look at this camera angle
I'm
right
kind
here.
of at a
What the
loss
fuck?
here.
That's so
I really am.
creeper mode.
the whole advertisers pulling out because of this stuff is nonsensical. If you gave advertisers the opportunity to put a commercial on a primetime show that was controversial, they'd all jump on it. It wouldn't even be a question. They would all do it immediately. The reason this is all happening is because Google wants to make more money. Let's call it what it is. They want to make more money. The advertisers that did leave probably had plans to do so. Probably didn't see the plus of having their company tied to YouTube. None of them left because of the 5 or 6 videos found with hate speech on them. There's like 1 million videos on YouTube. There's at least hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube. And we're talking about less than 1%. We're probably actual promoting racism, actual promoting bigotry, actual promoting some type of controversial actual problem in the world. And I just don't get it. I absolutely agree there is no place for racism, there is no place for bigotry, there is no place for hate speech on YouTube. Take it out on those channels. Block them. Remove them. Demonetize their videos. They shouldn't make a penny for spreading hate. Not a penny. Take it out on them. Don't take it out on channels that have been entertaining people and helping people in a variety of ways for years and years and years. It's insane to me. It was really insane to me. I'm just at a loss, guys. Just really at a loss. I wish I had something more productive to tell you. I don't. There's been ideas floated around. Perhaps moving to a new platform. The issue is the server power of YouTube is immense and unrivaled, except for maybe by Twitch, and I guarantee YouTube has more power than Twitch. And that's a streaming site, not really a post videos type of site. There's other video media platforms that may be able to handle the stresses if YouTubers decide to move on. The issue is no one's going to do that. They're either going to quit the game, or they're going to find something else, or they're going to keep trying to work on YouTube, because once you build a following on YouTube, it's so hard to build it somewhere else. It's nearly impossible. Because look at PewDiePie. If he left, he would not get 55 million subs again on some other media platform. He wouldn't. Will he get a couple million? Yeah, probably, definitely. But would he get the outrageous number he has on YouTube? There's absolutely no way. It's not possible. It's not feasible. So you're talking about giving up a large portion of your fan base on a move that may not be able to handle what you're trying to do. And YouTube, here's the thing. YouTube is great in the way it handles everything from a technical side. It has some issues, but by and large, it's the best technical video uploading site that there is. The amount of options, the amount of help it gives you, the amount of work you can dedicate into it just from uploading a video is unrivaled. And yet it's a sucky situation, guys. And I know for me, it's not the end-all be-all. This is not what I do for a living. This is not about me. This is about the people that make a living doing this, and the people who rely on these videos to get through a tough time, to rely on these videos to get through their everyday lives. A lot of people count on these. A lot of people count on this. And the way it's going, I don't see how it's going to be sustained, because you're going to have your top YouTubers probably still generate enough money to work around, but what about the ones with 100,000 subs, 200,000, a million, that aren't getting enough to keep going? You're talking about 1 million people now cut off from someone who they find incredibly funny. And for what? Because they swore in videos? Even if they fix it now, it's like, oh no, it's too late. You can't fix it now. You swore in videos when you were, I don't know, 15 years ago. It's just crazy. It's insane to me. And like I said, I really wish I had anything more substantial to give you guys, and I wish I could offer advice or have a solution to all this, or, you know, I wish I had ties to actually talk to people in Google. I don't. I don't know that it would work either, because the higher-ups in Google seem like they're very stuck in their ways, and they're going to do whatever they can to make money. And it is a business, and I understand the business side of it, and, you know, it's just sucky that we're in this position. And it's it all started because of a few bad people, and now it's becoming this ridiculous witch hunt, and articles being written about hate speech in YouTube. I just don't get it. The majority of YouTubers are really good people that I've met. They're really, really nice. I've met a couple big YouTubers that they'd give you the shirt off their back, and they're really, really just kind-hearted people that have a genuine concern for others. And yet, here we are talking about stuff that doesn't matter. We're talking about someone swearing in a video. I can go turn on cable and hear the same words. My little brother can go turn on the cable and hear the same words. I don't have a little brother, but if I did, he could hear the same words I could hear, unless he was deaf, in which case he could read the subtitles, unless he was blind, in which case he'd still probably find a way to get offended, because that's what this world is turning into. You can't say anything, you can't do anything, it's all offensive. So, I just don't know. The thing that really gets me, too, is if you look at all of the comments, they basically all support the YouTubers. They basically are all saying what I've said. I don't tie an advertisement before a video to the YouTuber himself. I don't do that. Why? Because why would I tie a Budweiser commercial to Markiplier? They're not tied together in any single way. And yet we're talking like they are. We're talking like, oh, because Budweiser advertises on Markiplier videos, that means they're condoning everything Markiplier does. No. That means they're a video on YouTube that is trying to remind you, hey, we make a product, we'd like for you to buy it, and here's a reminder, it might stick in your head subliminally. And I just don't get it. I've read probably 200, 300 comments. I didn't hear one that said, good, I want to censor all the YouTubers. I want them to get demonetized. I haven't seen one. They're all, I wish they would stop doing this. And you know why they wish they would stop doing this? Because we want the content. We come to these channels for the content that they make. We want to see their creativity. We don't want to see them have to dumb down their stuff or cut back or censor themselves because it's not going to be genuine. I don't know, man. And that's all I got to say about that. Look forward to a couple gameplay videos happening. Hopefully I can get them up tonight. If not, within the next day or two, the video should be up. If you like this video, hit that like button down below. If you have any ideas about any of this or want to say anything, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you please. That would be nice. With that, I bid you adieu, a fond farewell. Until we meet again in the next video. Bye-bye.